not as a modern day colonizer. If we're going places to take advantage of others for your own good, you're part of the problem. Traveling is a great thing if you show up in a beneficial way. Check your motives. What up, Black Man? Welcome to the Beneficial Black Man podcast, where we journey together to overcome mediocrity and become beneficial for our community by sharing lessons from the highs and lows of life. I'm your host, Jamal Calpin. What's going on? What's going on? I feel like it's been forever since I talked to you all, or since I shared a video, or since I went live. A lot's been happening. A lot's been happening, but I hope you're doing well. Hopefully you protect your mental, finding time for an emotional release valve, and continue to strive to become beneficial. What's going on? What's going on? So I've been traveling. I'm currently out of the country right now. My wife and I are out of the country, and it's been interesting. It's been interesting. Some good, some bad. And so as we get into the episode, let's jump into the mental check-in, and hopefully you can hear me okay. There wasn't like an official business place, so I kind of just found a nook to record this episode, to go live. So hopefully you can hear me okay and everything's going all right. But yeah, let's do the mental check-in. How am I doing? How are you doing? High, low, have you been creating anything? And then we'll get into the episode. Questioning, looking back over the week, is there anything that I've learned and what advice would I give? All right, so starting with the mental check-in, how am I doing? I feel like I'm here. Like, I'm here. And what I'm trying to do is be more present every day. Something that I really wrestle with is thinking too much in the future and also dwelling in the past. And so I'm trying my best to be here and now all the time, present in the moment all the time, and not worry about what's happening tomorrow or what I didn't do yesterday. And it's hard. It's pretty challenging. But I think I'm doing okay. I'm here. I'm healthy. I'm alive. I'm grateful for that. What's been the high? Okay, so the high, the high of this week is I'm very grateful for full refunds. Full refunds. My wife and I are traveling, and we were supposed to be staying at an Airbnb for about a month, right? And so we got here, got to the Airbnb, checked in, everything was going well at first. But then we started to have a pest problem. We had a pest problem. There were lots of ants, there were roaches, and there were lizards. And so after about an hour and a half, 2 hours of dealing with killing ants and dealing with Herbert, who is a roach that I've named, we decided we can't stay here. So we reached out to Airbnb support or whatever, to be like, hey, we can't do this. This location has a serious pest problem that they need to deal with and they need to fix, but we can't stay here, and so we need a refund. And sometimes in certain businesses and stuff, even though you may have valid complaints and valid issues, they still won't give you a refund. But gratefully and thankfully, we were able to get a refund from the payment that we made towards this Airbnb, which is helpful because it now helped us to be put up into a hotel for a little bit, so that we can then travel back home, because our original plan just didn't work out. But right now we're making the most of it. So that's almost a high and a low. High is a full refund. The low is that we had to deal with pests. And so I've dealt with pests before in living situations, whether it's ants or whether it's termites or whether it's roaches. But I think when you're paying for something that's supposed to be relaxing, that's supposed to be like a vacation spot or whatever, you don't want to deal with that. And so in the midst of trying to kill a lot of ants and deal with things at this one location, I turned around and on the kitchen counter in this Airbnb, there was this huge roach just chilling. Like, he owned the place, it was kind of like he was a tenant at this location. He was like, "Yo, what's up? I see that you guys, are the next visitors here at this Airbnb. It's a nice place, check out the curtains. I like what they did over there with that, with that vase. It was nice." But I like that joint caught me so off guard, and I was already like flustered and like so frustrated dealing with these pests. But like that joint made me jump. I was like, "What the?" Because it was a decent sized roach just chilling on this kitchen counter, like this island thing or whatever. I had to kill him. I crushed it. But Herbert is what I named him, was probably the low of the week, dealing with these pests in this Airbnb. But again, I'm grateful that we were able to get a full refund and be able to get to a place that is doesn't have those problems. So that was the high, the low, and creating. I didn't create anything. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I haven't created anything in like the past week. Because we've been preparing and getting ready to travel, and there's just been a lot been going on within our family, and so no, I haven't created anything. I haven't done my morning pages, my free writes, or nothing, because we've been traveling and going and fighting ants and dealing with Herberts and stuff like that. And I can start to feel it. I can start to feel that I need to create something. So I'm glad that I'm able to do this live or whatever. It's helpful, but I can tell that I'm like sort of out of sorts and out of whack. But no, this is helpful. So yeah, that was high, low. That's kind of how I'm doing. So let's get into it. What did I learn? Okay, so what did I learn from the past week? Outside of, dealing with Airbnb and pests and stuff like that, what I did learn is kind of a reminder of advice that was given to me in high school, is the importance of traveling. The importance of traveling and why you should try to travel as much as you can, if possible. I understand traveling, going out of the country can be difficult for a lot of people. But when I was in high school and getting ready, applying for schools and stuff like that, I grew up in the DMV, and one of the major like flagship colleges around there is the University of Maryland, College Park. And my teacher at the time was kind of like, where are you planning on going? I was like, yeah, I might just go to College Park. And he's like, no, you need to go somewhere that's out of state. You need to move away. You need to travel. You need to go somewhere. I eventually still ended up going to College Park, but with that advice, I have traveled a lot more. And I'm so grateful for that advice and for that challenge for him to say, you need to travel. You need to go somewhere else. You need to get out of what you're familiar with so that you're going to be exposed to the world. And although I haven't permanently lived anywhere else, I've traveled far and wide by God's grace. Like my wife and I, we were able to RV and travel throughout the states. I would have had the opportunity to go to Japan. I've been able to go to Mexico. I've been able to go to Canada. Been able to go to the Caribbean islands, different things like that. And I'm so grateful that I've been able to do that. And the thing about it is, if you look at it, if you have the right perspective in traveling, it can help you to become a better man, well-rounded. And maybe you've heard stories of people who have gone on like missions trips and things like that, or humanitarian trips, and they get a whole different perspective of how they view the world, how they view people, how they view themselves. And the thing is, when we don't travel and we aren't exposed to other people, we can have a very self-centered and selfish mindset. And so that's what I mean by mentioning in the title. If you're going to travel, try to travel with a beneficial mindset. How can I glorify the Most High? How can I serve? How can I be present in a beneficial way? A lot of these guys that I've heard that are like passport bros, and I've seen the videos and I've seen the commentaries and stuff like that, their main motivation is selfish. They want to find a wife or find escapades to sow their royal oats, to take advantage of the fact that the dollar may stretch longer in certain countries and stuff like that. And it's very, very self-centered. And if you keep having that kind of perspective, that very selfish, self-centered, kind of me attitude, it's not good for you here in the States, and it's not good for you anywhere else. People don't like selfish people. I think it's a human thing. People don't like selfish people. They don't want to be taken advantage of by other people. They don't want any of that. And I think a lot of these, especially brothers, black men who are doing it, they're really just trying to be modern day colonizers. They really are. They're trying to go to other places and get what they can't get here. Whether it's because their money doesn't stretch that far here, or they feel like the women here, particularly black women, aren't what is it, fit, feminine, and submissive enough. So they're gonna go to places like places in Latin America or places in Asia to try to find these women that will be submissive and more or less be like wife slaves to them. And the reality is, that's not true. Like, it's not true. And again, the internet is a double-edged sword. So the more you post about it, the more you talk about it, more and more people around the world are finding out, oh, this is what y'all doing. Y'all coming here, trying to take our women, trying to take advantage of our situations and stuff. No, we don't want you. We don't want no passport bros over here. We don't want no black men coming over here acting like this. And there have been some incidences where, men have gotten arrested or in some extreme cases been deleted because they're taking their selfishness to another country, another culture, another people, and thinking they can just show out because they believe that everything is so important about them. They believe that they're just because they have money, they can do and get whatever they want. That's not how the world works. Not at all. That's not how the world works. And the thing is, traveling can have such a huge impact on your life if you're willing to let your perspective be changed. Let your perspective be changed about how people do stuff, how other cultures operate, how relationships are, how food are, how the community, all those things. I've heard some instances on like 90-day fiance or whatever of men going to these other cultures hoping that they can just like bag a girl and like, all right, because I'm an American citizen, I have a passport and I got some money, you can just come home with me and everything will be fine and you can do everything with me and do whatever I want you to do. No, women are still people. Women still have feelings, they still have desires, they still have dreams, they still have all of these things. Even more so now because of the internet. And so for you to continue to hold on to like the selfish mentality of trying to really, like I said, being a modern day colonizer, I'm just gonna go somewhere and take what I want because I have power, because I have money, because I have privilege, it's gonna backfire on you. And it's not gonna help you to become a better man. It's not gonna help you at all in the long run. So why not approach traveling in a constructive way? Why not approach traveling in a beneficial mindset? And whether this is actually getting your passport and traveling somewhere, or taking the time to just learn about other cultures. Like, even if you live in the States, depending on where you are, there are a lot, they say America is a melting pot or whatever. There are a lot of different people groups here in the United States. Go to a restaurant that you haven't been to before. Maybe a different culture, different ethnicity. Try their food, ask questions, show engagement, learn about it. I had a friend of mine who her heritage and her ethnicity is Ethiopian. And I was like, yo, I want to go to an Ethiopian restaurant, but I'm not going by myself because I don't know anything. So can you please take me to one and show me like, what kind of food to eat and kind of guide me along. And they were glad to do it. People who care about their culture and care about their people don't mind that you have a genuine interest and you can learn a lot. And so you don't have to go out of the country. Maybe you just go to a different city or something like that and just ask questions. Be around different people, be around different cultures. Go to cultural events. Like I think, what is this? August? We're getting ready to go to September in the United States. September, I think, is Latin American month. So I'm sure there are going to be tons and tons of other cultural events happening in your community. If you live in maybe a urban area that they do something like that. Go to those events. Go learn something. Check out something new about another culture. Expand your worldview. Expand your perspective on people, and not just for your own selfish gain, but actually to curiously learn about stuff so that maybe, hey, I can help out, or maybe I can learn something that can be beneficial that I can add to my community. Go to cultural events, read a book. There are like National Geographic books. There are all kinds of literature and information that you can learn about different cultures, and even if it's cultures that you're interested in. So, like in high school, I was really into, which I don't know if that was a trend, but I was really into like anime. I was really into Japanese culture, so I did research. I looked into it. When I went to Barnes and Nobles or whatever, and I went to go pick up a manga, I would probably go look and see, oh, is there like a Japanese dictionary I can get, or there's like a cultural book about the Japanese culture. I would look up YouTube videos. I would do that kind of stuff to learn more about the culture, not just because I think the anime is cool or whatever, but like I want to know more about it. I want to know more about the people. How do they do things? What are their like beliefs and their values and stuff like that? Because with the intent of ultimately wanting to go there, I don't want to be completely taken blind in this situation. Like, no, I want to go, and this city is here. This is how these people act. This is how this community is, and stuff like that. Make that investment to learn about where you're trying to go and what you're interested in, and also broaden your perspective in the world, because the world is bigger than just you. And I think it's important in our process of becoming beneficial men that we learn as much as we can about the world around us. That way we can be of good to other people. That way we can, have a better understanding how we can glorify the Most High wherever we are, or, do something bigger than ourselves wherever we are. So whether you're in Japan, whether you're in Cape Town, whether you're in Mexico, wherever you are, whether you're in Canada, it doesn't matter. Like, wherever you go, even if you're in a different state, like, you can always have that motivation and have that guiding force to lead you, that every day, everywhere I go, I'm going to try to do something, serve for glory and for good. But that ultimately requires you to not be so selfish, to not adopt this passport bro idea of like, yo, I'm just going and I'm going to get whatever I want, do whatever I want, and just please my insatiable desire for lust and excitement. Am I saying you can't travel and have fun? No, that's not what I'm saying at all. But if you're going to travel somewhere, at least try to be respectful, respectful of the culture, respectful of the people. Don't be motivated by selfishness. Again, like I said, I've seen people on like the 90-day fiance thing. I've seen passport bros go places really just looking for women to be like sex slaves, really, and just do whatever they want so that they can gloat, so that they can be, feed their pride. It's like, oh yeah, I got this kind of woman and whatever. No, that selfishness is not going to go very far. It's not beneficial. It's not going to do much good. It's not going to do much good for you, and it's not going to do much good for the person that you are trying to be in a relationship with. So make an effort to travel. And again, traveling it's not exclusive to physically going places. Because again, yeah, if you ain't got it right now, that's understandable. But there's so much that you can Google, you can look into. It's like, let me just pick a country. Maybe it's just pick a different state. Let me just do something so I can continue to learn and grow. Because you don't want to keep a very myopic or small view about yourself and about the world. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in the world. And if we're striving to be beneficial and healthy for ourselves and for glory and for good, we need to do that work to continue to grow and expand ourselves. And a big thing to do and help doing that is traveling and exposing yourself to the world and different cultures and stuff like that. Because there is things that we can learn from other people that can be beneficial to our community as well. So I just wanted to again challenge you: travel, but don't travel like a passport bro. Travel like a beneficial black man. All right. I will, I guess, call to action is to go check out a video I did. I think the thumbnail should be like, I was dumb and foolish or something like that. And I was talking about watching my words. And that was an experience that it's like culture shock almost. And that happened in the States. Like I didn't even have to go anywhere, but because I was ignorant and immature. I offended somebody, offended a friend of mine, which, you know, I apologize for, but today when I think about it, I cringe and I regret it. But go check that video out. Again, I think the thumbnail should be like, I was dumb and foolish or something like that. But go check that out. Yeah, thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it. If you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe, and all that jazz. Black man, you're called for more than mediocre living. You're here for a purpose, to live for glory and for good. Protect your mental, make time for an emotional release valve, and keep striving to become beneficial. I believe in you. Go make something for yourself, of yourself, and for glory and for good. I'll talk to you all later. Peace.